wake up and you're like, what did I do last night that's making me this tired? That is me. Not gonna lie right now. The funny thing is I didn't even do anything yesterday. Well, I did do things yesterday, but I don't do anything. I don't party. Like, I don't drink. I don't do any of that stuff. So, and I think I was in bed at like 10:30 maybe. I don't even know. But yeah, I'm having that morning. So, because I'm having that morning, I figured why not get on the internet, look like crap, make some breakfast, talk about nonsense, for 20 minutes or so, and get on with your day. So, a little bit about my weekend. Busy weekend, as they always are. Yesterday at CrossFit, we did a workout called Chad, which is 1,000 step ups onto a 20-inch box 4 times. It took me 1 hour and 7 minutes and 14 seconds, and I will insert a picture of me doing that right here. And I will also give you guys, if you're ever going to do it, I'll give you some tips. So we'll talk about that too. And then I also had to come home yesterday quickly and rake the yard because homeownership is bullshit. Let me tell you, bullshit. So if you've been following me around on my little vlog here for a while, you guys know that I live in a condo. I do not live in a condo though that is one of those like big like apartment style condos. It's more how do I want to say it? It's almost like a fourplex type deal, but it's like, but the units are, so like me and my downstairs neighbor, it's one unit, and then across the yard there is another building, and there's 2 units over there. So it's basically like living more like in a house, like we all have like private entrances. We do have some shared space here. Like my neighbor and I share the basement. Like we both have laundry down there. We both share some of the space in the attic, stuff like that. But it's much more like living in your own house versus living in like a massive like complex. Which is awesome because there's a lot of character here. Like I've said this a million times before, my house was built in 1925. So it still has a lot of the original features in it. I do still have some of the original flooring in my house. I have the original fireplace, like the little spot for the telephone, like, I mean, some really cool, like, little features, I guess. Anyway, so normally we contract out for leaf, like, yard services. And when I moved in, I was like, why are we paying for this? Because the folks that were doing it were really not doing an amazing job taking care of our lawn anyway. And so last year we made the decision not to like contract for yard services, which is fine because we already mow the lawn. We do the flowers, weeding, all that stuff. So it was fine. But that also meant that we'd have to do leaf removal. And so not a big deal. Like I enjoy raking leaves. Done it a million times. Like it's basically just like a second workout for me, all this stuff. Our leaves are still on the trees, as you guys can see through the window behind me. You see that? And you see how they're still green? Yeah. So our leaves have not fully fallen. A lot of them have, but a lot of them have not. And that is the south side of the building right there. So the south side definitely still has a significant amount of leafage. It's still on the trees, but we were supposed to get snow. And so yesterday or whatever, like I knew they were predicting snow. And I was like, I do not want snow on top of the leaves that are already in the yard, right? Because then the spring is such a mess, and there's pros and cons to that because it can also provide like some insulation. It basically turns into like a mulch type of a situation. But I was like, I don't want to deal with that in the spring, right? So came home after the workout yesterday at CrossFit. 1,000 box step ups for time onto a 20-inch box hero wad called Chad. I will go ahead and put that down below in case you're interested in that workout. Again, we'll talk about it. And came upstairs, made some food, went back downstairs and raked the yard for 2 hours because, again, it's supposed to snow today. And my neighbor downstairs, who normally helps me with those types of activities, she ended up being out of town this weekend. So it was a solo job. I will insert a picture of the piles of leaves right here that I raked yesterday. So as you can see, it was pretty significant. And then it didn't snow. And it's just kind of windy. We have like 40-mile-an-hour winds or something. But it did rain, which is also good because that means all the leaves that are sitting in the road right now, because here we don't bag our leaves. You can. There's nothing saying you cannot do that. But we actually have a service as part of our Department of Public Works where they come around with like a little truck and it has like a big vacuum hose on it and they just suck up all the leaves and they move on, right? So that's why all the leaves are in the street. So don't at me. If you don't know the rules, don't at me. So it didn't snow, but it did rain, and it looks like, I don't know, like this system is kind of weird. It's 9:30 right now. Like, I don't know what it's going to do. They're still saying like, oh, it's going to snow, whatever, until noon. I was like, I don't believe it when I see it, because this is the second time in a week that y'all said it was going to snow and it didn't snow, because you don't know. And that's the fun part. It's just because I live lakeside, it tends to be a little bit warmer here right now. It says it's snowing. It is not snowing. It is 37 degrees. So it really, I mean, it could snow, but it's not really snowing. I'm going to need a lot of coffee today because I am exhausted. All right, let's talk about food. So today, going to make another recipe from Eating in the Middle by Andi Mitchell. It is an omelet that has artichoke hearts, roasted tomatoes in them. Ooh, sorry, like sun-ripened dried tomatoes. This is them right there. So good. Love them. Love artichoke hearts. I just have them from the can right here. If you want to use fresh, I suppose you could, right? Her recipe does call for canned though. Also have Parmesan cheese in the shaker. Does not call for off the block, right? Otherwise I use that. Cream cheese because delicious. And then egg whites right here, as you guys can see. So this recipe is designed for 2 people, but because of my protein requirements, I will be doubling this recipe. So it's going to be 8 egg whites, like 4 artichoke hearts, 2 sun-ripened, dried, whatever. I don't even know how to say that. Like, what? There's too many words. Sun-ripened, dried tomatoes. It's like redundant, right? Is it weird? That's weird. And then obviously double the cheese, whatever. So also, this is supposed to be an omelet. Here's the deal. I have discovered that I am not good at flipping omelets, especially one that is this dense. Oh, I forgot the spinach. There's also spinach in this thing. It's like, it's legit. Okay, so it's a lot of veggies, very heavy in that regard. Just enough cheese to make you happy. Not too much so you're like blowing all your calories and your macros or whatever it is that you track on your, on your cheese, right? So it's meant to be healthy, but just a little bit of fun, right? Just a little something. So you're like, oh, I'm eating healthy, but I don't feel deprived, right? Okay. So that's what we're going for here today. Also, this is my Wombat shirt. In case you guys didn't know, I support the Sleepy Burrows Wombat Sanctuary in Australia. Really nice organization. They take care of wombats. And they were doing a fundraiser and they were selling t-shirts. So I got a t-shirt and I also got a tank top to wear to CrossFit because why not? Right? So if you're interested, go ahead and check them out. I'll link them down below. All right, let's cook. Yes, let's cook. I'm hungry.
I'm back to my usual spot in the kitchen where I don't know what to do with my phone, so it's bouncing on a coffee mug and all of that. So on the kitchen counter in front of the dishwasher. Anyway, so here is my scramble. So couple things. It's supposed to be an omelet. I think we talked about this. Because I'm doubling the recipe, I can't flip it. So, it's really meant for two people, right? And like I think I said early on in this video, I hope I did anyway, that I double it because doubling it helps me fit in my macros for the day, right? My protein and my carbs from the veggies and my fat macros. So that's why it's doubled. So it does become quite a massive omelet, if you will. So I turned it into a scramble. Okay. Make it into an omelet if you want to. I'm sure if I actually did just one serving at a time, I 100% would be able to flip it. It's so good. Like, the spinach is amazing. The artichokes are amazing. The tomatoes are amazing. The cheese, obviously amazing. All of the nutritional information is available in the recipe. I'll link it below in case you want to try it. But let's talk about a couple more things. Okay, while I eat my breakfast. So, yesterday, like I said, I did the hero workout Chad, 1,000 box step-ups for time, onto a 20-inch box. The prescribed workout is for women is a 20-inch box plus a 35-pound rucksack or weighted vest. I did not opt to do a weighted vest this year. Here's why. This is the first time I've ever done this workout, and while it's easy to know what to expect, because you're like, oh, I'm just stepping up and down off of a 20-inch box 1,000 times for an hour. I was not sure what to expect, if that makes sense. So it's not like Murph, which is the Memorial Day workout that CrossFitters do in honor of Michael Murphy and all other fallen soldiers too. So that's a little bit different. That one I've done 5 times. I think I've done Murph 5 times. So obviously, like my first year, I had no idea like what was going to happen. But once I've done a workout, it's easy for me to kind of strategize and figure out what I want to do. So next year, I think what I may do, it just kind of depends on, I guess, where I'm at with strength and training at that point. But I will most likely be wearing a vest. And I may or may not drop the box height down. That is something that a lot of people opted to do yesterday, was wear their vest. But then instead of a 20-inch box, it was an 18-inch box or a 16-inch box. It just makes it a little bit more manageable, especially when you start to talk about the volume of what you're doing, right? So I'm not sure yet what I'm going to do. So good. If you guys haven't picked up on it yet, yes, I have made this at least 3 times. I made it the other day. I think Thursday was the first time I made it. And I just wanted to try it out just to see before I showed you guys. Like the spaghetti recipe that I didn't do that one ahead of time. Like I had no idea what it was going to be. So it's a little bit more authentic. This is not authentic. I already knew that this tasted good. But I realized
that normally for breakfast, I eat yogurt and fruit, so protein and carbs, a little bit of fat from the yogurt. Sometimes I'll have like a scoop of peanut butter or something, whatever. But I ate this and I was full like for hours. Like, I didn't even need like my mid-morning snack. Like I was able to kind of push that into my lunch and then have a bigger lunch. And like, so it worked out really good. And then I did notice that I did have a really good training week last week. Just by kind of moving my food around a little bit and like getting some more volume in the morning, versus just opting to have yogurt, berries, whatever, which, hey, if that's what you do, it's totally fine. But for me, like I've said, in one of my vlogs, I'm not sure which one it was. Was it the last one of the spaghetti vlog? I don't know. That maybe it was the one before. Might've been grocery haul. It's probably grocery haul. That I have been struggling a little bit with just like not feeling well, like when I get like through my metcons, right, in training. So it was really good. It was a really good week of training. Yeah, really excited. Anyway, back to Chad. So, that workout, it's long, it's grindy. If you want to do it, some tips for you. If you have never done it before, I would start without the vest. Unless you only maybe wanted to do half the workout, just to see. Some people can just go into that kind of pain cave and do things that are very, very hard without really any preparation. And that's totally fine if you're that person. I am not that person. I don't mind suffering. That's part of CrossFit, but stuff like this where it could potentially lead to injury, right? You don't want to risk that. So I would recommend maybe starting on a lower box if you want to do the whole thing. You could scale the reps, right? In addition to maybe scaling the height of the box. It doesn't have to be a box. Like you could literally just do it on a set of stairs. Like it could be anything, right? So do that. No vest if it's your first time. If you're experienced, you probably could do your vest. Don't try to be a hero. Like, if 35 pounds is too heavy, use 25, use 20, use 15, whatever it is that you want to do. So set a strategy for how many steps on each leg you want to do. I did 10 on each leg. So I was even. I was switching every 10 steps, just so like one side of your body isn't taking all of the hit, right, of the stepping up. So one hamstring is not going to be very tired and the other one's not. I did notice that like today my lower back is very tired, which I was expecting because during our prep for this workout, we did practice like after class. We would have like a couple times a week we did like extra credit, and we would practice box steps for, 15, 20 minutes or whatever. So I was expecting that. It went, really well. I just kind of stuck to my plan. And then what I did is I took my box because, we all have a square that we train in, and that's a COVID thing. And it gives people like enough space, right? It's kind of a COVID protocol. Although I don't know if technically we need that anymore, but it does work out really well for us. And so I was in my square and I had my box and I just, every 100 steps, I picked up the box and I moved it. Like from the corner to the middle, back to the corner, up the side, to the top corner, to the top middle, so it gave me like something like every 100 steps. So about every 5 minutes or so, it's actually probably every like 7 minutes actually. Like every 7 minutes, I was, 6 or 7 minutes, I was moving somewhere. So you felt like you were making progress, right? You weren't just standing in the same spot doing it. I highly recommend doing that too. After I was done, I got on the bike for a few minutes, and just kind of pedaled with very low resistance. And then, on the Airdyne, not an actual pedal bike. It was on the Airdyne. It was actually on the Concept 2, which is, just a bike and it sucks. Yeah, that's a tough one. Not as bad as the Echo bike that the CrossFit Games use, but it's up there. It sucks. But no resistance on that, just for a few minutes, and then did some like pigeon, and hamstring stretches, some groin stretches, because I did notice that too. Just like my adductors, and my abductors were pretty tight too. So that's how I made it through Chad. There you are. All right, this recipe, it's excellent. You could modify this and put any kind of vegetables you wanted into it, which is one of the themes in Andi Mitchell's cookbook, is that she does load a lot of her recipes, actually all of them, I should say, with vegetables. And that's something that she found had worked for her during her weight loss journey, is just like having tons of vegetables, like, so filling up, right? And then you don't necessarily feel the need, right, to like eat 1,000 French fries because you've already had, maybe a big salad and you've had a burger and you've maybe had a small French fry, right? So it's just about like kind of balance and moderation. So you could totally take the cheese out. You could use different cheese in this. This is egg whites. I generally don't use a lot of egg whites. I usually use the whole egg. But I don't feel like I'm missing anything because I think the cheese kind of makes up for that, right? Kind of fills in that fat. But you could totally probably use whole eggs on this if you wanted to. You could use cheddar cheese. And again, you could use any kind of vegetables that you wanted if you wanted to just totally deconstruct this and make it however you want to make it. I mean, I don't. I'm going to make it just like this. It's so good. Anyway, hope you guys had fun. Otherwise, not a lot going on here. Just a normal weekend. I have to clean the house. I have to put all the boxes of, I'm that person. I think we discussed this last time. I'm that person. Like I am decorating for Christmas. My tree is up. I put that up midweek. And I just have some decorations now that I need to put up. And then I need to put all the boxes back in the attic. And then do a couple of dishes today. Clean the bathroom. Sweep the floors. All that adulting bullshit. Right? So that's what's on my plate for today. And then a little bit later, I'm going to do, I think some ramwad, some recovery. Oh, look at that little fruit fly. Hi, fruit fly. Where did you come from? It's winter. You're supposed to be dead. Anyway, so yeah, a little bit of recovery work today. Like I said, it is pretty chilly out today. So I don't know if I'll be able to get outside and walk or anything like that. But wow, that was really close to the camera. Did you see that little fruit fly? It's like, woo! Anyway, but yeah, so I hope you guys are having a fantastic week. I'm sorry, weekend. It is not week. Well, I guess it could be if you're in Australia. Anyway, be well, take your medication, go to sleep, do all the things that you need to do to keep yourself healthy. And I will see you in my next vlog. Bye.